This person is oh my God. Okay. This person, I'm not going to necessarily say, walk away from this person. I would say run. What's going on, beautiful beings and conscious co-creators? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and thank you in advance for those of you guys who hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Today's video is another channeled message, and I wanted to talk particularly to those of you guys who are empathic, those of you guys who take on the emotions of other people very easily. Sometimes we find ourselves absorbing other people's problems, other people's burdens, and we don't always have that individual to give us advice. And a lot of times we just find ourselves on the receiving end of all of that, and no one's, a lot of times we don't, when we look around and we need someone there, we just have some trouble finding that person, that source, that entity that we can unload on sometimes or get advice from. And so my intention today in this reading is to give a message that can help out the empaths out there. So I hope this message finds you well. I hope that you are able to receive something that will help you trek on your spiritual journey. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, and we're going to pull backup deck. So I'm going to explain to you guys what I'm seeing right now. Starting out was the Knight of Swords. The Five of Pentacles followed after that. The two that came in together was the Two of Cups and the Death card. And the back of deck energy right here is the Nine of Wands, which is giving very much you are trying to protect something. Your guard is up. And your guard is up rightfully so, because there's a lot of distrust you have with this person. I feel like this Knight of Swords right here is someone in your life that is a little reckless, a little manipulative, that is very selfish, someone who is kind of very, very much self-absorbed and interested in themselves. And I feel like they're in a tight spot with that Five of Pentacles coming out next to it. They're in this tight spot, and I feel like they're willing to say anything. I think this is the person that you really want to kind of pay attention to. Those who you identify as being in a tight spot financially. I don't want you guys to end up being in a manipulated situation, a situation where you think that you're doing the good thing, you think that you're helping out this person, but really you may be enabling them. You may be falling victim to their ways. I mean, I kind of feel like this is kind of a master manipulator. I find Two of Cups. This person has positioned themselves in your life to trust them. They have found things that you guys have in common, like a hobby or something that you both are naturally gifted. And I feel like this is someone that is very similar to you, but they're not. They're similar to you, but because they put themselves out there to look like that. I see Nine of Wands also being a sign that's saying be careful. be very careful, tread lightly, watch your back, and make sure you are watching your stuff, protect your stuff, protect your spirit. There's something, the fact that this would be the fact that Nine of Wands would be the backup deck energy makes me feel like there is something worth protecting from this Knight of Swords, whoever that is. And then the Death card comes in, and I typically read that card as a transformation, but in this particular deck, I'm seeing that card being a message to you to really consider severing ties with this individual. But we're gonna pull some more cards to gain a little bit more clarity, insight, and of course some guidance. So what else for the collective, the empaths out there? We're looking for messages from for them, the collective empaths out there that may be watching this video. What messages do we have for? Thank you. Devil card, I'm going to leave that in reverse. What else? Thank you. Four of Cups in reverse. I'm going to leave that there. So wow, okay, this is the message is severing ties to me. That's what I'm gaining from this, is that it's about severing ties. It's about moving on from what doesn't serve you. Some of you guys have kept this energy around this person around because, you know, I have a friend that used to say, you know, oh, well, this person's demons and my demons, they play well with each other. And I thought that was a very poetic, oops, kick the mic. I can't go a video without kicking the mic, so excuse that. But I thought that was a very poetic explanation as to why that person entertained the other person. It's giving very much that, like, both of y'all's demons, both of y'all's dark places, the things that you would like to not be shown in the light, both of those aspects about yourself play well together, and it's giving toxic, you know. So it's like if you're struggling with a particular thing, that person is who you confide in, but not in the way that that person wants to see you win, wants to see you better, evolve, but more so that person can feed that in you so that y'all can, it's destructive. It's very destructive. And I think that's why Spirit is kind of saying, like, we know that you have a lot in common. We know that you care about this person, that y'all do a lot of things together, but this relationship is not serving you. Four of Cups is in reverse. The unfulfillment here needs to be stopped. You're not really being fulfilled. Even if you may think you are, you're really not. You're really not being fulfilled. So, yeah, it's kind of like, I look at these as like you struggling to move past this phase. And I feel like a lot of times as empaths, you find excuses for the way people treat you, the way people carry on in their lives when it comes to you. A lot of times empaths have difficult times creating boundaries and explaining to people how they want to be treated, because we as empaths, there's a point of understanding that we begin to just assume that person's story, whatever they're saying. I don't know if that makes sense, but like when a person is telling me their story, which happens a lot, when they're divulging into things, like, I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with people where they say, I've never told anyone this, but for some reason I feel open with you and I want to share all this stuff. And so they begin to unpack all of this trauma. They begin to unpack all the things they have tucked away and just kind of remove from their mind. And because this may be the first time they're doing it, it's flooding out, and they leave it with you, and then they go on and do whatever they were going to do for the rest of that day. But you're holding all of that, and it's not serving you. It's not serving you particularly because this relationship appears to be one-sided, and it appears like this person has something to gain from you. And I feel like financially, if you've been giving this person money, I would say maybe now is the time to stop enabling that, because like I said, this person wants something from you. Five of Pentacles is a card that says there's lacking. I dropped a card. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords came out. What is that about? What is the Ace of Swords about? I'm seeing mental clarity being something you need to strive for. This person is a distraction to you. I don't even know if this is person or people, but there's a lot of distractions. It's a lot of people filling your head up with things that they have going on and you feel, whether they're doing it or not, you feel some sort of responsibility, but you really need to begin. Nine of Wands here, but you need to begin to protect your space. I'm seeing that as really a warning card. It's like protect your space. Again, that was back of deck. I'm actually going to put that off to the side, so we can remember that this is major. This is a very important card that is calling for you to protect aspects about you, the things that you have built. Maybe you guys are. And this happens a lot, but maybe you guys have gotten to a place in your spiritual journey, in your walk of awareness, of, you've started doing that work. You started healing yourself, and you present as a different person. You present as a new person. You present as a more aware person. And there are people who pick up on that energy, and they go after that energy. And that's why a lot of times as empaths, we have to be very careful about who we allow access to us and what are their intentions. Because if they have the wrong intention, if they have the intention to just, kind of like a parasite, like feed off of your energy, feed off of your essence and your life force, if that's all they intend to do, which is what I feel like they have to do, they're intending to do, because we have Knight of Swords next to Five of Pentacles, they're lacking something that you have. There's a light on you that they want. And if you're not careful, Nine of Wands, if you're not careful, then you're going to find yourself kind of where they are, Five of Pentacles, where you're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Ace of Swords, Hangman in reverse. Now you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, which you shouldn't be doing. This is in reverse. It's out of alignment. You should not have to go backwards, but you may end up, in fact, repeating this cycle if you continue to let this energy and these spirits linger in your life. So this is about Seven of Pentacles, taking time to, one, don't get so caught up in the cyclone. Knight of Swords, I want you to also understand, the Suite of Swords happens very quickly. It's fast. It's communicative. It's giving the energy of, I don't want you to have too much time to think about it. I'm going to constantly put you in places where you don't have enough time to really meditate on it. And I want you to kind of picture, like, when I say that, I want you to get this visual of like a game show, like Deal or No Deal. If you haven't seen that, you can YouTube it. It's a TV show called Deal or No Deal, right? And the idea is that there are suitcases on the stage. One of the suitcases has like the $1 million or however much. And we're going to say $1 million. But the suitcases are listed like 1 through 100. So there are 100 suitcases, and you have to figure out which one has the $1 million. And I'm not going to go into the details because I'm going to just assume that you know what the show is. And if not, you can do your own homework. But the idea is that they put so much pressure on that contestant to just take the deal that the person up in the skybox, I don't know what you call that. The idea is put the pressure on the contestant to just take whatever, because it may not be worth taking the time or risking finding the suitcase that has the actual amount of money. And so you have the person in the skybox trying to just shoot out deals, whether they are insultingly low or maybe it's just like, he's getting kind of close to finding the suitcase. Let me just sweeten the deal. But this person doesn't have your best interest at heart, and neither does this person, but the pressure is there. And the pressure is there, and it's designed. Knight of Swords is giving you pressure, and it's designed to make you feel like you have to help, that you don't have enough time to assess the pros and the cons to figure out if this is really right for you, which is why they're saying protect your space. Nine of Swords again. Protect your space. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to how you're feeling. Take a second. It doesn't matter whether somebody's making you feel like you don't have time. You always have time. Don't let anybody rob you of your time. That's a word. Seven of Pentacles is saying take time to make sure you're good. Make sure you're straight. If you find, after you've done a self-inquiry, we've talked about self-inquiries before, where, and basically a self-inquiry is when you just, it's like a checkup where you sit with yourself and you say, how am I feeling right now? I'm feeling this way. Or let me give an example. How am I feeling right now? I'm feeling a little defeated. Why am I feeling defeated? Well, because this happened today and this other thing happened last week. And, I didn't do what I wanted to do last week at the job. And, and you go through you go through these questions and you get to the bottom of like the real reason of why you felt defeated, because it's never really, well, these outside circumstances happen. It's what those outside circumstances combined mean to you and why that meaning exists in your life. And maybe it's because you have high expectations of yourself. Maybe it's because you need to work on your self-esteem. Maybe you need to treat yourself nicer. Maybe you're just being really hard on yourself and you do need a break and your spirit is asking for a break. There's all kind of reasons why this happens, but we never get there if we don't do the self-inquiry, if we don't do the reflections of and the self-awareness, the parts of ourselves that we need to pay attention to. This person and really everything in the world, society, everything is telling you do not have time to pay attention to yourself to make sure you're okay. You don't have time to do that. And the time that they do give you to do that, at that point, it typically is almost too late. It's when you have gone crazy. It's when you are in the hospital and you are physically placed in a position to sit down. That's typically when people will do this sort of thing, but it doesn't have to wait. You don't have to wait till then. And don't let anybody make you feel like you have to move on their time. You move on your time. Page of Pentacles is giving me the energy of being observant. Again, I'm also seeing, some of the other characteristics of that card include studious. I look at Page of Pentacles and I see the student. I see a person who's willing to listen, a person who is being teachable. And that's really important to always be, because sometimes, I want to say this happens a lot in the spiritual community. I see it all the time on social media. People get really cocky. People get really egocentric when they get to certain places in life. And whether it's through spirituality or not, you will see a lot of people not only put themselves in position where they can they feel like they have the authority to tell you what you can and cannot do and intercede on your spiritual process in a way that is not in alignment. But it's being big-headed, basically. It's there's no humbleness in there. It's very cocky, okay, and it's very unattractive, especially when you have people like that who take advantage of people who are just still trying to find themselves. It's one of the most vulnerable places you can be in your waking life is in the process of trying to find yourself. So Page of Pentacles is coming in right here, and it's asking you to remain teachable. It's asking you to remain studious. Don't give up the things that you have learned that got you up to this place. So if you were learning meditation and now you're really good at meditation, don't stop there. Keep reading on meditation. Keep testing yourself. Keep driving that interest. There's so much still to learn, and I think that's a word for someone, is that Spirit is saying that there's still so much to learn. 10 of Wands. What is that 10 of Wands? Because I have a feeling it's something to do with taking. Oh, okay. Hierophant comes, but it's in reverse. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle. Hierophant comes in reverse along with that 10 of Wands. What are you trying to say exactly, Spirit? What's the move? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to communicate with those watching this video? This person is oh my God. Okay. This person, yeah, this person, I'm not going to necessarily say, you know, walk away from this person. I would say run away. You have Hierophant in reverse. You have Three of Swords, and then you have Chariot cards, Six of Cups coming out, and you have the Knight of Cups. Okay, a lot's happening right now. So basically, okay, so this is someone that you've probably been with for a while or been around for a while. It's someone that is close to you. You have Knight of Cups and Six of Cups. You feel very attached to this person. You're very drawn to this person. This person, you may have a lot of memories with this person. And like I said, I do believe that you do share a lot of common interests, and that's what you've used so far to justify continuing to keep them in your life. So like maybe you're a musician and they're a musician, and that's how y'all met. And so you've been friends or you know, lovers for so long. So you're just like, well, you know, I just have to make it work with this person. Spirit saying no. Spirit saying no. You're using these excuses, but this person it's saying move forward. This person is going to bring you pain, and this person ultimately with this Hierophant in reverse is concerning for me as a reader, because that in combination with what I'm saying, I feel like this person is distracting you from your journey. This person could honestly cause you to veer off of your spiritual journey. All the progress that you've made, the spiritual journey and who you become because of it, whatever that is, because it's not one specific thing. It's whatever you take out of that, which is based off of you, your reality, your world and perspective. But whatever that is supposed to be, you have a karmic relationship here that is really potentially going to affect the outcome. You're staying in this position right here with the Ten of Wands here, where you're carrying their shit. You're holding on to stuff. You're holding on to things. Not me hitting the table. You're holding on to things that you're not supposed to be holding on to. It's affecting your ability to see straight. You can't even tell your path because you're taking on other people's mess, other people's drama, other people's problems that are not your own. And it's distracting you, because how are you able to stay studious? How are you able to remember to take care of yourself? Seven of Pentacles back here. How are you able to do all of that and focus on yourself when you're taking on other people's stuff? This time, and I want you guys to understand this as a collective, this time is for you to be selfish. This is your time to focus on you. This is not the time to be Captain Save-A-Ho. It's just not. This is not that time. This time is supposed to be for you. And anybody who cannot get down with that program needs to vamoose. Anything else out of this deck before I move to Oracle? I'm going to move to Oracle in just a second, but I want to ask Spirit, is there anything else in this deck that needs to be given to the collective? Ashe, thank you. Nine of Cups, work towards inner fulfillment. Again, worry about yourself. That's what I'm saying over and over again. The message is worry about yourself, because that's what that person is doing, and they have no problem. If you really took time to see their true colors, you would see they are only involved. They're only interested in themselves and getting to the next place, and they're willing to use you and abuse you to get there. A card fell down. Animals. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. I'm seeing a kinship or soulmate relationship that you have with a particular pet, a being that you are very close to when it comes to a pet. This could be a canine. This could be a cat. I don't see this being a caged animal though. So even if it is an animal that maybe is meant to be in a cage, like a bird, but maybe you don't really keep them in a cage. I feel like there's an animal that you were very close with, that you tend to, like, you know, you feel like that animal just kind of gets you. That animal, I definitely think can, okay, how do I say this? Maybe during this spiritual time, because you're an empath, maybe the easiest thing to do is just pay more attention and connect more with the animals. And I say that because one of the things that I love about my dog is he is unconditionally loving towards me. My dog does not really want me. I don't have to be a specific kind of person to my dog for you know, him to love me, you know. And that is so refreshing. I was having a conversation with my partner about the idea of unconditional love and what that is. And I honestly feel like a lot of us have pets that we don't really think about in that way, but a lot of us have pets that do unconditionally love us. And I feel like some of you have that. And when you're looking for the strength, when you're looking for the love and maybe attention from another person, this Knight of Swords, those people, turn to your animals instead. Love on your animals. Spend time with your animals. Your animal, like, y'all are in each other's lives for a reason. Don't sleep on animals. Don't sleep on the love and the pure energy that can come from a pet loving on you. I dropped another card. Hold on. Heart's desire. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. Don't stop. Don't slow down on your dreams. Whatever it is that you see yourself doing, hold steadfast to that. Don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't get distracted by these relationships that aren't going anywhere. Death card came out. They're not going anywhere. Focus on your dreams. Focus on what it is that you want. Like I said, this is your time to be selfish. Empaths, okay? This is your time to focus on you. Don't worry about what other people have to say about it. Don't worry about what they're going to think. This is a time for you. You have all of the support and guidance in the world with your angels right here. The card is just coming in and confirm that. Okay? I'm going to pull just maybe one or two from this deck. What about in this deck? Do we have anything for the empaths? Those who clicked on this collective reading. Is there anything out of this deck for them? This deck is particularly hard to shuffle. All right. Two cards came out. We have love-based reality. It says, I am soul nurtured when I surround myself with friends and family who support a love-based reality. Ooh, that's good. That's good. This one says, feminine law of attraction. I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. Divine feminine is calling you to, again, harness a lot of that inner energy, that inner creative energy. Okay. That, it's funny because even how she's holding the light, it looks like it's kind of coming out of her like sacral. Sorry, there's something in my eye. The sacral chakra, the sacral chakra. Keep dropping stuff. But yeah, it looks like it's coming out of that like sacral chakra, and maybe kind of coming up and through the solar plexus, like in that area is where it's looking like. But There is so much that you can harness. And I see you guys, being very powerful creatives in whatever way that is flowing and most natural for you, of course. But I do see you guys being able to put out creative, inspiring content or work or speeches, whatever it is. But this card is super, super important because love-based reality is what I feel you guys deserve, but you have to believe that you deserve that, and you have to set up boundaries. Nine of Wands again, we're going to keep pointing back to this card. You have to be the person that set up those boundaries, that says, if you are not going to participate in my love-based reality, I want no parts of you. So you are deliberate and intentional, which is a big word here. You are deliberate and intentional with who you put in your circle. And you make sure that these people support the love-based reality. And you may be saying, okay, so what is a love-based reality? Well, you can start with what it's not. What it's not is what I just described back here. It's not love-based. You have to decide in your mind, when you sit down and you think about the reality that you want, not the one that you have right now, because you can continue to switch up and choose your reality. You can. People do it all the time. So you need to decide what you want your reality to be. Then you have to believe that it is possible, that it is tangible, that you can reach for it. You have to believe that. So don't say, I want to be the Queen of England, knowing good and well that you do not believe that reality. Because you have to feel so much conviction there, okay? But then once you've decided on this reality, you want to put people in your life that are going to support that. They're going to support you. They're going to trust you and trust in you. They're going to believe in you. They're going to encourage you. They're going to speak life into you. They give a crap about you. They care about you, the entity, not what you can do for them, not how they can step over you, not what you give them, but they care about you as a being, as a person, as a creator. They believe in you. You may stand to benefit from taking a second to do an inquiry of all the people in your life and determine, does this person support, after you figured out what that reality is, does that person support it? Because you have to keep in mind, you do not have to believe entirely, or not believe. A person does not have to understand you to support you, to respect you, to believe in you. Okay? Oftentimes they'll get there, but I'm speaking from experience. When you decide to say, you know what, I'm not accepting less than this, you will begin to see who scatters and who stays. You can't be afraid, though. This is not a moment to bluff. When you start to say, all right, I'm chopping heads off, who's here for me and who's not. But the people who are not here for you, as soon as you identify them, death card right here. It's chopping block time. Get out of here. Why are you here? What do you want from me? I would even ask them, what do you want from me? Why are you in my life? What are we doing right now? This back and forth, because there must be purpose with relationships. Every relationship in my life has a purpose. And the relationships that did not, or if the relationship had a purpose that did not serve me or was not in alignment with me, I cut it. And you have to be willing to be alone, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. I'm not being called, I don't feel called to do charms for this reading. So I'm not going to do charms, but I really want to end this reading with this message really quick. Empaths, I know sometimes you have this sense of, feeling you want to help, you want to be of service. You feel bad for this individual or this situation. Your heart cries out to them because you can feel their pain. You understand it. You can easily slip into their shoes and see the journey. You get it. And there is a skill to that. That is a skill, okay, to be able to do that. But if you don't learn, Page of Pentacles, where are you at, Page? If you don't learn how to use that in a way that is in alignment with your dreams and your love-based reality, and then, heart's desire, your dreams. If you don't learn how to utilize that properly, you are going to repeat this cycle. We just saw Hangman in reverse. You will repeat this cycle. And I don't want that for you. So take a second to figure out, is anything that this reader said to me, does it resonate with me? Are there people in my life that do not deserve to be there? Are there people in my life that are giving me Knight of Swords energy where they're just using me? Well, Knight of Swords coupled with a few other cards, but are they using me? Are they manipulating me? Are they just saying whatever they think I'm supposed to hear so that I continue giving them my light? Because to me, you're not a dumping ground, but you have to believe you're not a dumping ground. And you have to make the decision to say, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to have my selfish season. This is about me. And some of you are probably like, selfish, and that's triggering to you because of what you believe selfish to be and how you never want to be portrayed as selfish. But who taught you that selfish was bad? Because we have to go back when we're starting our journey. And this is another word I want to give to you guys, especially those of you guys who are recently starting out on your spiritual journey and you're being swayed this way and that way. And the internet has a lot of different stuff that they give people who are looking for information, and that can be really good, but that can also be very dangerous. So please keep this in mind. And this is coming from an individual that has no motive at all. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. So this is what I've learned through my personal experience. From what I've learned from my personal experience is that it is, as soon as you decide to walk this journey and unlearn, because that's really the first step, is choosing to accept the fact that it is very possible that everything that you have ever been taught was a lie. Now, it doesn't mean it is a lie. I'm just saying the fact that you have began to accept that it's possible that it was a lie, that means that you have to develop your inner source voice. Like, you need to be able to, you have to be able to hear spirit. You have to. And if that's a foreign concept, well, we can talk about that more. I mean, you can let me know if that's a topic that you would want to talk about more, because, I'm not sure if that's reaching ears or if that's something that someone would want to talk about. But if you don't, and you're just wanting to check it out yourself, because I feel that I'm that way too, I would say just start meditating. But, when we think about things that we've been conditioned, indoctrinated to feel about certain words, like the word selfish, we were taught, don't be selfish. Why? Because selfish is bad. Why? Because that means you're only thinking about yourself. Why is that bad? Especially when you talk to an empath and you tell them, don't be selfish. And you teach them at an early age, because our parents, how many parents out there knew from, especially if you're in the age of 25 to 35, if you're in that age range, how many of our parents sat there and was like, my kid's an empath. Let me choose my words carefully. No, our parents weren't doing that. Most of us, our parents were not doing that. They just weren't. Okay, so you have to think back on everything that you've learned since childhood and ask yourself, does that make sense for who I am right now? To continue carrying that belief, that conditioned thought, whatever. Does that serve where I am? But yeah, I definitely feel like this is your selfish season. This is a time for you to be paying attention to yourself, taking care of self, monitoring yourself, making sure that you are constantly growing. Where's my card at? Seven of Pence. Making sure that you are good. Watering what needs to be watered. weeding what needs to be weeded, fertilizing what needs to be fertilizing. This is someone who is dead set on taking care of herself. And I just realized, look at this. She has a sleeping dog next to her, and we just talked about animals and how there is a life partner as in the form of an animal as a companion. That's a soulmate type of relationship, or a very close, tight kinship relationship. And the fact that she's taking care of herself while she has her dog there, yeah, I think that's kind of one of those like small, subtle reinforcements of, you know, while you're in your selfish season, you know, the animals, they don't want for much. You don't have to worry about your animal manipulate. I mean, I don't know what kind of animals y'all have, but most animals, you don't have to worry about them manipulating you because there's an unconditional love there. Okay, so if this reading at any point resonated with you, Ashe, I'm grateful for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. But if you enjoy content like that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.